Hi everyone, you're watching Channel Effects. In this video, as usual, I'll make technical analysis for the coming week. We'll have a look at my best important levels, possible entry points, and as usual, if you are interested in just Bitcoin, you can find it right at the end of this video. Starting with euro dollar as usual, guys. So as you can see, this week we had continuation of the downtrend of euro is what happened previous week. Remember, I was showing you how I draw my levels, right, using the tops and the bottom, and so pretty much this week euro stayed in that channel, right? So it broke 118, then tried to make a return and still continue down to right now it's around 1725. For the coming week, expectation is possibly could be a little bit of correction. Obviously, we've been going 2 weeks in a downtrend, and at the same time, we're going to have some news, and those news for American dollar might continue for the pair to continue down. Okay, so we do have quite a lot of here levels, interesting area. So that's why I wouldn't be surprised if it will continue the way down. But of course, like I'm saying, first possibly it will have a bit of a correction, maybe even try to go back to 118 again. So I'm going to show you a bit bigger time frames. As you can see, guys, now, well, let's do the weekly chart again to show you that the pair broke through the level, right? So stays again underneath, and at the same time we still have this little bottom here, right, and which is still slightly higher than the previous one, even feel like yes, it was breakout here once again, and so it still has a possibility it can still turn around. Okay, so it can, but at this moment, because we're also in a downtrend channel, right, and looking for kind of correction in that channel, but from this triangle which I have created previously, it did come out, but did not have a pullback in it, right? So you see, that's what I'm trying to say. You see, we came, just broke it again like it was previously, and it's still not exactly confirmed. You see, I have here level, so you can see that bottom, and possibly that movement down can create here a bottom, which, like I'm saying, with the news, maybe there would be not very good news for American dollar, so then the pair might turn around once again, right? And so my expectation could possibly be, if we will create here a bottom and then turn around and go back in the same area, like you see under 118, it still might have here a bit of accumulation and go back up again, and then this time possibly we'll try to break 119 and go in further. It's just like a little bit of my thoughts on a possible future, because we also might end up here in another triangle. You see, there's lots of uncertainty, so it could be another big triangle, and that's why here might be expectation of creation of the bottom. You see, the previous week we had a little bit of the beginning of that downtrend. Now we kind of like moved inside it, and yes, it might continue the way down, which I would be more like towards that it continue, and we'll get like 116 something, but because it's been going so long, we need a bit of a correction. So you see, and at the same time it might accumulate down here again, accumulation under 18. Like I'm saying, you see, we will see if it will start to sit in here. It would be like another maybe little triangle or something here, which also, like I'm saying, might be breakout up again. Depends like in news, right? Possibly this news this week, there could be a reaction, and then it might continue, might turn around and go up, and at the same time it might continue the way down. So the other option could be also not doing anything around here, but go straight down, and then of course wherever it might pick up some of this areas, some of those levels, and then with possibly the news it might turn around. Okay, and like instead of going for correction, so straight away might go through further. So of course, for example, if it will go quite high fast go down, then I would expect that possibly would be also a quite good jump back up. Okay, so that's my kind of expectations in here, presuming the movements around this area. So okay, we got down further to like 117 now areas, but still would be thinking between 118 and 116, that area I will be looking at. So anything can happen, like with the news, it could be strong news, right? So that's why it could be quite good movement. So now I'm going back on a smaller time frame, just give you idea where I will be looking those possible entry points. So pretty much there, I was telling you where it was. This time again, we stopped not in a very good area because I really wanted it to go to 117, where I could have looked at possible entry points where I would be, if it would have consolidated here, I would be more likely like placing my buy pending orders for like that good correction of that movement. But because it stopped a little bit high, I don't want to go into the trade. So what I want here to see, I mean, I wouldn't go for buys yet or like sales, because from here you see to 17 is a very small distance, about 20 pips or something, and also a lot of on the way to stop. So that's why I really want this to go for a bit of a correction. So you see, that's the area I pointed out. So of that drop, if it will correct in some way here, this is where I will be placing my orders. Okay, so maybe go and start to sit around here. So that would be the area. So I'll be placing the sell pending order, expecting it break through down to 17, and at the same time, if it decide to turn around and go for a bit better correction back to 18, 118 is also could be a nice area. So that's why first my expectation, it could possibly be a correction into this area, or maybe some kind of consolidation and accumulation before the news event. So if something like that, it might like stuck in somewhere around, and then we will see when the news have come, will be coming out, where the pair will be. Of course, and if it will drop through straight away, you see just a little bit now, but with opening market it might straight drop, then we will see if it will break the 117 or stays above it, and then where it will start to also its consolidation or any possible patterns. Okay, so that's my view at this moment. I don't have exact entry point, just going to wait for a little bit more. Pound dollar, that's the way I was telling you, it was a little bit confusing, right? Because we were still kind of in an uptrend. At the same time, it was also the level pointing down. As you would look on the daily chart, I was showing you, right? It was a little bit like on the edge of up and down movements, and that's what I was telling you, be careful, could be expectation of anything. You see, we have some wicks in here, and eventually pair continue way down, just as I expected to telling you of the weaker pairs against the dollar, right? So there was my expectation still that pound also is more looking likely going down because of the all those things around England. So the same, you see, it likes 37.50, so it's like 50s and the exact numbers, like right from here it went down to 38, which I was telling you, like I didn't want to go into this trade in here because, like I was telling you, it could go up to 39 or go first to 38, which exactly it did, and from 38 it jumped, ignoring 38.50, except yes, it had a little bit stopped by then, was sitting a little bit, and then started to jump and haven't broken 139. So it did not go any further, and then you see slowly again it went down. So here the same, now it's 37.50. It's just broke a little bit, and of course I wanted to go a little bit maybe for small correction or a little bit of consolidation, and maybe in this area I will be looking for this next possible entry point. If it will break up and go higher, then I will see out there. Of course, if it will continue the way down like 37, and then maybe I will look here. So afterwards it needs to be a little bit careful, because, well, actually from 37 it might still go down further to 36.50. Okay, so that's could possibly that's the movements I can expect. So of course, like the first, because again it's moved still down, a little bit of correction, right, and continue the way down, because we kind of come out, broke out from this area, from that channel, right, which also we can call possibly like a bearish flag or something, but still a little bit of this week, which it might finish it, but still, like I'm saying, it could go for a bit of a correction again and stay underneath and sit in here a little bit, go for some more accumulation, and then who knows what the news are going to be. So the main picture, so would be, you understand now, I'm looking at all of these possibilities from between like the zeros and the 50s, right? This is where I look for the entry points. And so for the, if it will start to fall down, as you can see, guys, that's what I'm trying to tell you, expecting the breakout of 37 again. And of course, according to with this, I would be expecting a possible even go further to like 35 would be something, right? But you see, we do have here, because like 36 is quite a strong area, and that's why I'm thinking if it will break, they probably will go in for further 35, and maybe then afterwards will come back. But you see what also here, because that top is still a little bit higher than the previous, bottom is still above a little bit of this one, because that was a week. You see, if we can net them, we still might expect that this might just drop here, which is about 36.50, right, and then create another bottom and started to try to go back, right? So I will not be excluding this scenario, because it does look like a bit of a triangle, okay? So a little bit of a triangle again. So that's why don't be surprised if it will do this here and start to turn around, okay? So yeah, at this moment, so I don't have the entry point, and just like I'm saying, it needs to be a little bit of more accumulation of something around this area first, okay? So just a little bit, and then we will see. So like I'm saying, it might go for a bit of correction up there, or continue to 37, and each of these levels I will be looking at those possible entry points, just like as usual, pretty much. Australian dollar is the same as euro dollar, created this channel, you see, breakthrough here, so started to sit in here a bit and broke through, perfect, just as expected, and continued inside this channel. Once again, the same situation, because been going down for like 2 weeks. This week it could possibly go for correction, or maybe finish the downtrend movement. Like I'm saying again, before the news it might go for correction, and then with the news it might continue the way down, or instead it might continue the way down, and then with the news it might reverse, okay, or create as a pattern. So you see, that's the point is that's what's happening at this moment, okay? And I can't turn it around like we did it here, right? So when I gave you those beautiful downtrend, small downtrend channels, at this moment I can't do so, because we are inside them. You see, it's broke this bottom, and then from here we do have quite you see, like a bit short distance to one area, and not bad, but still not as good to this area. So that's why, to be honest, from here it would be nice, it will go again for a little bit of correction of that movement, right? So go maybe to this area, not exactly this, somewhere underneath it or something, and then maybe I will be looking at possible entry points again. It could be nice to place buy pending order, because like it was going down for so long, for that correction, right? So it might go up, and at the same time, if it will go here and placing my pending sell order, it would be really nice distance to the next possible level, you see. So that's why I do really want not to go into anywhere here, but I do really want for this to go a little bit of correction of up. Of course, if it will drop nicely, then I will be looking at this possible area, and once again, of course, from here, I mean here, maybe a little bit down and come back more towards going into buys to get that correction, okay? So you see, because it's like really nice fall, been quite a while, and we still, well, it still possibly could be a little bit of not exactly head and shoulders now, more like a bit of a diamond something pattern. So that's why expectation is still to go back up. I'm not excluding that, so right. So but we're right here, right, and we do have this bottoms connected. So yes, it still could go as low to that, possibly even further, who knows, right? It might drop, but this is a very, you see in the monthly chart, is a very strong area right here, and like what we have 0.7021 from here, that I would expect a jump up first, and then if, who knows, if it's like even more stronger news for dollar, it might be even go further, but it's just a bigger picture at this moment. It's a little bit too early to look at it, but it could be. So we at this moment, we're right here, you see, we have all of these levels still, like this one could be the stopping still. Okay, so just a little bit of still movements, okay, but that little channel, you see, worked out quite well. So and that's why, like I'm saying, we had it really nice at first, and now because of that, from here the expectation like a go for correction, right, which exactly correction might be stopped somewhere wherever we Fibonacci can use. In here also we do have this one is with the Fibonacci, it could be just a little bit longer, and then started to go back up, you know, go up again. right? So that's why, but we will be trying to catch our small moves, and we will see where it's going to go at first in this little area. Okay, so that's in that area. Okay, dollar Canadian. Dollar Canadian we had right here, and it's also was expectation both direction, right? It could go. I'm still looking for the bigger time frames, right, for a bit of a better correction, right, to give us that big bottom. So on the bigger time frames, and so we can turn it around. Still the same situation, and here it's still jumped up, and could be head and shoulders. Okay, so I will not be still at this moment will not be excluding that possibility of giving the shoulder and still turning around. Like I'm saying, with the news, it could possibly be, if like not very good news, it might do something like that. So if we would look in here, you see it was like very messy. So it's created also, well, kind of like a triangle wedge right in here, and it's actually finally it's still broke up. Okay, so it didn't go down. I was more expecting it, looking at possible to continue the way down. That would be a quite perfect technical view if it would have done this, and from here started to give us a more of the uptrend. So because at this moment it's still looking like inside this bigger time frame channel, right, the downtrend channel where it goes for that correction. Okay, so right, which pretty much also, I mean, if the bigger strength, it might still go all the way without having this, but you know, we usually for the technicals we need to have a bottom. Okay, so to make it okay, we are going higher and higher and afterwards, right? So that's why I still want to see that bottom somewhere, and then we can draw it as an uptrend channel. So, but this is a bigger picture, and pretty much like it's for the people who like to trade the bigger time frames, like longer term. So we don't really need this, as we're going for the small ones. I had a little bit of screenshots in the Telegram channel, all worked out well. I think I also was sending dollar Canadian, and which also worked out well, the trade we had. And so what is it now? You see, I'm waiting for, it didn't break this. I mean, the market is not closed just yet, but it will in a minute. And possibly looking for this as my entry point. You see, from here, I wouldn't be excluding it continue and finish and moving, because it's back inside the uptrend channel. At the same time, it quite easily can come back, you know, and break through this area, right, and go down, and then who knows, like this, and then maybe even back inside this downtrend channel. Because also at the same time, you see guys, if I will connect, because presume here we have a double bottom. When you have double bottom, we can correct our trend levels, and that's what you can see pretty much. We still are inside a downtrend channel. Okay, so when it's a double bottom, so double tops, that's how it works. Okay, that's how I use it. So I'm now saying, okay, well, we could have this to bottom, and that's the bottom. Okay, so that was just a break, first one, and then the second bottom, and that's why when we connect the tops, that's where this movement could be expected go, maybe a little bit of the week, and then coming back, and then started to drop inside it. Okay, so until it's completely finished, then afterwards I will not be able to move this level, and then it's come out and then sits above, then would be more for me going up. So at this moment, even here, we're going up, but still this could be the end of that movement. At the same time, of course, the strong one, but like it was in here, it could possibly happen again, the huge jump. So but at this moment, yes, it's that area. And maybe I probably should just leave it as it is, but it's like I'm going to leave it like this. So but you understand what I'm saying, because you see from here it will not go that way, will just stop, and then we'll try to fall from here back inside the channel. And so I would use, maybe it will go back, and maybe here from that, right, would be next possible entry point. Okay, so that's why I don't want to remove it. Let's see if it goes back to this area, maybe consolidation, and then further down. Okay, because there is a lot of here to collect, lots of bottoms. That's why it's quite easily, if there is nothing else, it might go down there first, who knows, and then somewhere stops, and then with the news it might all turn around. In the same time, again, it might go up, and with the news turn around. So we will see. Of course, I'm not excluding if it will not go from here anywhere. It might just stuck in this area for a while. We will see, but at this moment I'm looking at that area first. Dollar yen, again, another week, pretty much nothing. Well, it's a daily time frame. I was just showing you. Previously it does look like a bit flat, but still inside the down trend, a bit of an uptrend. So you see this week it tried to break out through, just like I was telling you. I can see that's happening more downwards, right, in here, and it's looking low, 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 and then finally it's broke it. Now it's back, and from here again, this little area is possible entry point, could be for me when I start to consolidate, but again, it might have just a small move, right? Might just go here, which is still enough, for example, to go for the small take profit as usual. And in my screenshots, time in Telegram, guys, just see I have the stop losses and take profits. It's all the settings for the EA, which you can use if you're not using the EA, okay? It's just easier with the EA because, but all the settings are there with the stop losses and take profits, okay? It's just the main take profit, usually I'm splitting it again, half positions are closed, and at 10 plus pips, could be 20 pips, it's all there in the settings in Telegram channel when I'm sending you signals, just check it out. And the rest of it usually moves by trailing stop, or I'm just moving it myself. But if I'm using with the EA, it's trailing, okay? It's trails and continue. But if I think the movement might be even stronger, I'm switching off my EA and then move it manually. Okay, so just here once again was point out, there's a lot of here, and here is accumulation. That's why I'm presuming, you see, it didn't break it, so we do still have this lows higher. So, and that's why I'm saying it might not break it. But my expectation will be, if it will break one another way, it could be big moves, okay? Big moves. Remember I was telling you about it. So that's why be careful, but the big moves could be spikes, right? Like jump up and come back, jump down and come back. So you need to be a bit careful. But that would be possible first entry points. I will have a look when I want to go or not, because again, like I'm saying, it might go and just stuck in here, or might turn here. And I think possibly this news will finally move it, okay? Will finally move it. You see the same, guys, these accumulations happening because nobody knows where to go, and with the moving the levels, it was still enough room to move it, okay? We still have that enough room to move it, but now it's like quite on the edge. That's why, yes, might started to break out here and then finally break this. I think it might have that big move. But like again, don't forget about the spikes, and at the same time it will sit in here. It's still inside the kind of like those levels, right, without breaking. But if it will break that, it's probably going to have a nice move down, okay? So if it's not going to be spike collecting all those bottoms, right, so it might just collect them and then jump back. So that's why, but it might be very fast. So that's why when you're doing it manually, you need to be careful and see when you jump in, jump out. The same with the EA also could be slipperage, and then it can slip the entry point and go lower or, you know, higher, and then you need to be just careful to see if it's not missing your like exits or take profits or anything like this before it turns around, if it's just a spike, okay? So like I'm saying, usually it's easier to control with the EA, and then jump in, jump out manually is quite harder, because sometimes it just jumps and then you're not in time to jump out, and it's already against you. So yeah, that's what kind of warnings with the dollar yen, but hopefully this news will finally move pair one in another direction, unless it's gonna, if not that, it's gonna sit in here again. I mean, it can sit, nobody knows when it's gonna have that move and which kind of news are going to move it. There's a lot on this side and a lot on the other side, so I don't know if anybody can tell you exactly what's going to happen. They're probably lying. So pound yen, the same, because like when I'm showing you, I'm telling you what I'm expecting and why I'm explaining to you, but when it happens exactly what I said, it doesn't mean I knew exactly, right? I'm just telling you why I think it's going to go this way and what to do if it will, but I don't know 100%, okay? That's why it's expectation, okay? So it's not like, yeah, it's prediction, definitely. No, it's expectation, go one or another direction, and then we're looking at why it should go one or another direction, for example. So, for example, with pound yen, right? I was telling you, right in this candle, and I told you, so we are right in the edge, and of course, because pound is weaker, my first thought would be it will continue the way down. But I told you, because this candle and this candle a little bit more, the feeling candle, as I said, expectations probably it will go and fill in first, right, and then turn around, possibly, or who knows, could have continued the way up. And you see that's exactly what happened this week. You see it's finished that candle with that week. You see created another one, but now it's a nice red candle and drop. Okay, so this one is more candle looking towards. For example, I have a sell here, and at this moment I'm keeping it, because I do expect pound to continue on the way down. Yes, you see my expectation, but of course I have a stop loss which is already in a profitable position if it will decide to jump and back on me. At this moment, yes, I'd say it does look like, you see, we had accumulation, we had those weeks, and then finally this one, and now it's looking like it should continue the way down. So that's the view with pound yen. To be honest, the only like possible, my next entry point would be, you see, because right now I'm already in a sell and I'm holding this position at this moment, so I presume it should finish also this week, like go down here, and then maybe if it will start to sit in this area, that would be my next possible entry point, because you see from here it would be nice if it will go for correction of that movement, like go higher this level or just a halfway through, and at the same time if it wouldn't want to just sit in here, and then it's I would expect a possible continuation, you know, for the next those bottoms, okay, and then from there who knows what's the next one it's going to be, might be another like whatever consolidation or pattern or something else, okay, so we will see. At this moment, yes, it's broke through, but you see it's like it's not guaranteed. It can go, turn around again, and then try to go back up again, so you never know whatever the news brings. But technically looking at this moment, technically I would say more towards the downtrend, okay, so that's how I keep it at this moment. Euro pound, I had a buy finally, so I have a small at this moment bought it and sitting and still expecting it, like you see again now technically looking, it didn't break through down this week. Let's go, it's a 4-hour chart, that's what I was just showing to you, lots of wicks again, and you see on 4-hour chart, it was here right before it's closed, and I didn't like this because I said to you it's nothing, pretty much need a little bit of something more. So kind of looks like it's created me like that double bottom. I usually like to look as a reverse, right, or wherever any other possible pattern. So at this moment it looks like a double bottom to me on a bigger time frame, especially like 4 hours. So that's why I decided just to get in here. And you see that bottom is pretty much lower than the previous one. That's what I like with the double bottoms more, when they're like this, the previous bottom high and this one slightly low, and then it's coming back. And like I'm saying, maybe it's a little bit early, it might still go something like this and then might continue the way down, give us, instead of double bottom, it might end up whatever, triangle wedge or bearish flag, of course. So there is a risk, but this moment I see it as a double bottom and a possible return, okay, in going up higher, okay, so into higher, at least to maybe possibly to this top somewhere, and then again we will see what to do next. You see guys, I'm not going to be saying that yeah, because you see that's what I could connect, right, again create, because I see this is a nice bottom, but you see it might accumulate here and easily can break through, okay, so that's why quite possibly if it go further away from this level, right, then yeah, it could be nice, for example, for drop distance, okay, so it could be, but at this moment that's how I see it. So let's just see and wait, because at this moment I could create it as an uptrend, a possible turning again, staying with this theory of it's turning back. Okay, gold. Also, expectation was that it will be bearish, right, going down, and I was also sending screenshots of the gold. I actually had here buy, sold, and then buy, and then I sold it again. I didn't send another screenshot afterwards but I just decided to sell because pretty much it went up. You see here a bit of like a little wick in here, came back and get closer to the area, and my expectation, as I was telling you, was that it will go down, so I just decided to stick with it, and I felt that finally it's going to break this area. It's been here, you see, so many times it's been touching it, and finally I thought, okay, it's probably had enough, and also that area, it's time to break it through. So like I'm saying, expectations were, but I just, like I said, I didn't want to risk to like anyone, because from here it was already a big drop, so I placed my order here somewhere. So that's why you see it was a bit risky, because from here it could have turned around again. Okay, so that's why I didn't want to send a screenshot. Okay, and like I'm saying, it's when it's like moves like this, it could be bigger spreads, much bigger spreads, and more riskier to trade. So right now, well, I'm kind of keeping this this way. Like again, it's all could be turned around, this levels with this now. That could be, like you see, like possible something like that. Of course, such a big drop. Why could be this useful? It's pretty much just to give us the areas where to look for the entry points, right? So for example, you see, if it will sit in here, like started to consolidate, so that would be my next possible entry point. You see, without it like this, you don't know, okay, where am I supposed to look for the entry point? I can't see, right? But when you actually try to understand, so what can happen now, right? Like here, yes, like once it came out, like okay, in the edge, and it might go back and started to have a correction. This would be the first thing, of course, right? We should go for possible correction and how to get the entry. So I would like to see it consolidate here. Of course, if it will have some jumps, then I'll see what to do. That could be to the next little top, and where else, I don't know. At this moment, this is what it looks like. But like you see, of course, possible correction, but at the same time it can continue the way down. And what can happen once again, that with the opening of the market, it might continue the way down straight away, but it can stop anywhere it wants. You see, we had this week, I told you it will go and try to fill in, and it's quite possible the time that it might go and fill in this time. At the same time, it's not guaranteed. It might still turn around, okay? It might still turn around. This is just fooling everyone. At this moment, yes, technically, we are out of this uptrend channel, definitely out of it, you see, and we are still inside one. And that's why at this moment, technically, correction expectation, not going anywhere too high, and then from there, like it will create like a flag or something bearish, or maybe just like a little bit sitting, saying correction, a little bit sitting, and then finally continue the way down, right? That would be my first kind of expectation of this view, okay? And like again, if it will just fall, then we will see where it's going to stop, and possibly before the news events, if it will go for correction, and I will see pretty much, I mean, if it will not give me the possibility to get in, right? So like, for example, it will just jump, then I will see where it's going to stop. You see here, I don't need this level anymore. It's like no use anymore. That's it. We broke this area, and I don't really need this. And this one is pretty much too, because if you just use the Fibonacci levels and then it will start to go, you can see all the little levels where it could possibly stop, because right in here it might be any areas. Well, first of course would be this stop, to go for it first, and then trying to break it, or maybe it will not break it, and then it will give us a little bit of wherever it's like that triangle, something like this, like a little pattern a little bit away, or this area. So we'll see. This moment just gives me nothing, absolutely nothing, so that's why I'm waiting for a bit of time. US crude oil, the same situation, guys. I was telling you, right, that area crucial between two levels, 50-50, that way or that way. Of course, I was telling you, technical picture was looking like, because it was still inside, but was trying just a little bit to break through. Like, where is it for our chart we had, right? It was a little bit started to break out. That's why I was telling you, yes, like technically we are looking like down. So I was telling you, if it would go down a little bit, right, we would have watched if it would stop somewhere in the middle, or it will be trying to break. This is quite strong level, and quite a lot of bottoms, and that's what expectation was. Yeah, technically could have go down completely, break this, go stop around here somewhere, and then started to turn around, and then we could have connect this bottom with another one and put it up, right, in the uptrend. So at this moment, but they decided, you see, to go up. You see, that's the correct consolidation I was telling you. It can break and start have a consolidation, could have break and go straight away. No, you see, it's broke a little bit, was sitting in here, and then had that jump, and stopped just slightly below the previous top. So kind of looking like in here, it might from here still can drop back inside this area. So for example, if it could have dropped in here something like and stop, slow it down, I would probably like think, okay, it's probably will go down even further and taking all of these areas, right, even further here, because this is also could be quite a lot to take. At the same time, well, it can continue and take break this top, and then finally get this one and even go further, right? So, and then started to from that started to go backwards. So how I would look, you see, that's why it's not a confirmation yet. Yeah, it's got in, and then what? It still might get out. So that's why I would wait for some accumulation, obviously, right? We need accumulation and the strength, because yes, it went up, but it didn't have a correction at the same time. So we need that bottom again to connect it a bit more. Even so, yeah, okay, it went back inside this channel. Okay, it did went, but it's only like just broke. We saw with the other pairs, yeah, how it's happened. They broke in and then they came back. Like we saw the euro dollar and the pound dollar, they went in all those areas of uptrend channels, but they all came back afterwards, right? So that's why it's like no way you know exactly where it's going. Of course, follow the news, see what is going on out there. But technically we need some accumulation, and that's why if it's not going to jump straight away, see if it will accumulate here. And then of course from here, the narrow part here, further away from the previous, like 70 now, right? You can look for the possible entry point, but see how close another top, what can happen again. It might accumulate a bit, break it, right, come back, and then started to fall. So easily can be something like this, or could go much higher there, then stop again and accumulate, and then continue the way again. So wait for those accumulations. To be honest, I would rather just to see if, for example, if it will go and accumulate something like this. So somewhere then in between that previous top and that level. So that would be a bit better area, because this is a little bit too close. And so that's break out this level, then it would be nice to this next top, maybe even break it a bit, okay? And then from here go down to next, even better. Also, I mean, the area, so pretty much would be middle for this one and middle for that. So that's how I would be looking for sitting in this area accumulation, okay? So if it's not going to go straight down or jump up straight away. That's how I look at it. And finally, Bitcoin. Let's do the 4-hour chart first, where we were and what happened. So again, as expected, right here, I told you wait to go to the next bottoms, those ones, right? So it stopped exactly. So pretty much here, actually, you see this candle. If you would see it, you would expect pretty much that it will go and fill it in. And that's what I was telling you. So one of my expectations was sitting in this area, right? We might go for a bit of consolidation before the next bigger move expectation. Like we had already this big move, and well, next big move we need. So if we go now on a daily chart, so this is what I see, guys. That area right now, I mean, of course, like I'm saying, I still think it might sit in this area, well, like maybe higher, that's what I was telling you, but because it's created these wicks now, it might go and cover them and go lower, right? So that's why I would, at this moment, I'm saying that I don't see any confirmation of going in the uptrend. At this moment, I see technically only as a downtrend, okay? It was a correction, and now I'm expecting it a possible continuation of downtrend, giving us another bottom, and then I will be talking, okay, we have a bottom now, possibly breaking out this, we will go into this higher, looking for, finally looking to break that top, right? At this moment, I don't see it. yes, it's created here this pins and wicks, and but it looks like a diamond pattern, guys, to me. See, like a diamond. You know, usually it's like a shoulder, then you have a head which breaks the neck and comes back. Okay, so that's why it's not staying on the same neck. That would be head and shoulders, but because it broke, they look at it as a pattern diamond. But at the same time, you see, remember I was telling you about the pattern which called fish. Okay, so that's why, yes, it could end up as a fish. And we still could possibly be able to move this level high to this top, but we had a really good drop here, so quite possible, as I'm saying, from here now I can see that it quite possibly continue a little bit more, like in this pattern, creating it. So go more, touch it a little bit, like higher, lower, so a little bit, right? So with Fibonacci also you will see it's 60 or 70 something level, and go from there, and then stay probably something like that, and then from here some kind of breakout and going down. Okay, so we'll break out and smash in that neck possible area and go further, so a little bit more like to 41. So that would be if it's going to be our diamond pattern, which does look like creating at this moment. So if it's like creation of a kind of fish, then of course it's like I'm saying, it doesn't matter. It also can go in a bit higher and then just sit in here, right, a little bit higher, and then break out this level and go up there. So, and it might sit just and accumulate here in this area in the same, you know, break out, go up, or just sit in here and then break out and straight. So possible, but let's look at this. If yes, you can look at that possibility if it will just sit. So my possible entry points, if it will sit in here, I would look for placing the pending order buy from this level, maybe even right now here, because you see on the smaller time frames it's already sitting right in and started to accumulate, and also starting to look like a little bit of the bullish flag. Okay, so and that's why it's quite possibly can break that and go high, but just don't forget about this previous top, because shoulder, you see, it could be that shoulder, or use the Fibonacci levels and see where there's 60 and 70 plus something, which is roughly about this level. So that's why here I probably could look at placing the pending order buy, but not the sell. Okay, for the next possible entry point, as for sell, of course, if it will sit in here, right, and just to see how much and how badly it's going to go, but of course would be again placing the pending order buy from this, and possibly from that trend level. Okay, so I mean, if it's going to just sit like that, and maybe from this one, but of course it would be nice a little bit higher, but from that or that one, maybe not here, because you see it can go and just be stopped by that. So that's why it needs to go a little bit more, because it will get a little bit more of accumulation, and then it would be a little bit more towards that it should, you know, go and try to break through this and finish these top bottoms, and then go to the next possible this bottom, or even further down, who knows, right? I'm expecting still around, like, well, whatever, 41, go to 36, maybe 37, something like this, if it will end up as a diamond pattern. Okay, if it's a diamond pattern, usually you wouldn't expect it all the way, usually you would expect it at least halfway. Okay, so that's why we had this previous bottom, which you can see. Where is this? It's slightly higher than, you see, 36 something, right, about 37 something. So that's why I would be, as a diamond pattern, see it's going here, and then possibly from here either jump straight away up, which probably that's what's going to happen, or consolidation first, and then trying to turn. Then it would be a complete of the pattern and turning around point of this downtrend channel. Okay, so then I would be saying, okay, it quite possibly be the uptrend starting at bottom of the uptrend, a start. So, and like I'm saying, if it will end up as a fish, I'm calling, it still might end up as another top, which is like, you see, we have here, we still have that 50, right? So it might stop by 50, or maybe go a little bit 55, and then still, you know, turned out as a still that big top. Okay, and still go lower before trying to turn around. So that's pretty much how I see it at Bitcoin, guys, at this moment. So we are watching closely the pattern. Okay, at this moment, looking at that pattern, a possible creation. So that's it for now, guys. I hope you liked the video. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, press the bell so you don't miss the new videos, and of course my Telegram channel, absolutely free for some signals I'm sending, and of course the updates, okay, if there is anything new. Okay, happy trading everyone, and I see you in my next video. Bye.